Welcome to the Music Reel. I'm your host, Nicola Burton, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Sam Cook, who is a multi-award-winning, multi-talented arts and entertainment professional based in LA. Now, Sam is the founder and the CEO for KMBA Agency and has just been asked to join the board of Australia Music Alliance. Sam, welcome to the Music Reel and congratulations. That is huge.
It really is. It's such an exciting appointment. I'm really looking forward to what we're actually about to manifest and create.
Oh, well, I'm excited to hear all about it. I've looked at your resume and my goodness, the things that you've achieved, it's incredible. But I guess what I want to start with today, you were the founder for the Australian Black History Month, which is amazing. And I believe someone in your family was celebrated this week. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, wow. Yeah, look, my grandmother, I stand in the shadow of such a rich cultural legacy, and for 12 years really hadn't had the ability to tell the story because it's quite emotional. We were very, very close. So to be able to kind of list her achievements and to really share my Nana with the world, because she really was everyone's Nana for anyone who came into contact with her. That was really exciting, and it was just a beautiful moment in such a powerful canon of 31 stories over the course of July being Australia's Black History Month. So I got to share my Nana with the world.
It must have felt amazing. I was emotional just reading your post about it. So yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. But look, there's so much to talk about with you. You've done so many incredible things, but I want to start with KMBA Agency. Best name ever. What is it? Kiss My Black Arts. I love it. So how did lockdown impact what you guys have had planned for this year?
So we've had a lot of plans cancelled in terms of touring, different projects. We've been working with partners such as UCLA here in LA, and just the ability to kind of, get on the circuit, do what we need to do. That being said, the downtime has created this kind of a magic moment where we all have time to just stop and front each other with ideas and visions and Zooms and conversations and planning for what our new world and future is going to look like. So I think we've all sort of successfully managed to turn what's currently and still is a pretty confusing time for everybody into something that's hopeful and that we're looking beyond, the immediate future.
I like to hear that. I think we've got so much resilience, haven't we, in this industry? We're so creative. We're used to things not being great in our industry anyway. So I agree with you. It's been this incredible time and space that we haven't normally had. So I guess I'm keen to hear from you, the Australian Music Alliance. How is that going to work when we're going to have restrictions, I guess, traveling from now on? What are your thoughts on that?
So music travels digitally. Our artists are performing online. We've got such a rich opportunity to take advantage of the technology that exists and really apply that to global marketplaces. The United States has really been one that a lot of Australians time and time again have kind of had either a relationship with or an aspiration to be a part of. It's a lucrative marketplace just by sheer population. So being able to create pathways in the digital domain, but also looking beyond that, because ideally and hopefully there'll come a point in time where we'll all be able to come back together in whatever shape and form that is. So looking positive and looking at the way we can create pathways for musicians and artists that might not necessarily be the traditional route.
And that's what we do. We don't do anything traditional, really, do we? So, okay, so I'm in Brisbane, you're in LA. Are you guys still locked down in terms of pubs and clubs? Are you able to go out? Are there any gigs? What's going on over there?
We're still pretty much in lockdown. We sort of started to leave and emerge out of it after it was something like 76 to 78 days of just consistent lockdown. Then we moved to phase 2, and then everything's kind of gone south again. So, we're talking significant volumes of numbers just in the county, in LA County. It's definitely over 170,000 people have undertaken the test and confirmed positive, but it's also something now like 4,300 and something deaths, and that's just in the county. So think of it like, the city of Brisbane. That's how many people have just passed away in our area. So it's not even the whole of the state of California and the whole of the United States. So it's staggering numbers, and it's really sobering. Everyone's trying to definitely look out for each other, especially the Australians that are over here, to see how we're all doing, and if we need some support, because the economics is kind of tanked out underneath us all, and the opportunities for that at the moment are pretty slim for a lot of people. So, just coming back together in a way that the community, we kind of do that anyway. So it's good to have that level, as you said, of the resilience, not necessarily feeling burdened by the lockdown and turning it into a positive. But of course, the reality is, the mental health issues that come with that for a lot of people, and just the struggle of being away from home. And, we're all sort of locked in now to not being able to get home. It's quite the undertaking. So, yeah, we're sort of here to ride it out.
And that's the thing, is that you don't appreciate look, I'm in Brisbane, you can't come home. And, the emotions that go with that, I think that's something that we're going to be dealing with for a long time. My son lives in Sydney. He's actually just arrived today because our border's closed tomorrow, which is insane. Again, we might go into a second lockdown. But, when we think about music and the arts, traditionally that's been the thing that's helped us recover. So it helps us with our mental health. It helps us to recover our economics, I guess. What do you think in terms of recovery for our industry over there, and as well, back here? What do you think we can do as musicians, music industry, music professionals, in order, I guess, to help in the recovery on every level, not just economics, but as you said, mental health is such a big one. What's your take on what's a possible roadmap to recovery for us?
I mean, it's quite a complex ecology. There's got to be a lot more will from government level in terms of supporting the arts. Watching the arts being kind of omitted from a lot of the narrative has been really disappointing, because it's everything you say with, our well-being. If you strip the arts out of society, you've got a beige world, and it's really unrealistic to think in those terms, because art is all around us. It's just where the value is placed and exists. So I think, from a political landscape, there needs to be more buy-in. From a individual landscape, it's it's addressing maybe even some of the issues within our own industries about how we could just do our own business a bit better. Supporting each other through a digital space as well, because the technologies that we're even exposed to over here in the United States are, miles ahead of what's going on in Australia. And we just want to kind of go, here it is, guys, we'll get you ahead, just trying to kind of be really helpful and think creative outcomes for community. But individuals, in terms of practice, it's going to be a hard road to just find the creative space in amongst the turmoil for some people. Other people will bounce back and utilize this in their form of expression. There's a lot to be written about this time as well. It's definitely unprecedented. So the outlet of what that could be, and the way in which we start to talk about that, and getting our industry in front of itself, getting our artists really well supported. So as I said, the ecology.
I think that's an incredibly well said answer, Sam. I think that you're well positioned over there to perhaps lead us. As you say, you've got access to the technology that we're not necessarily using yet. Could you imagine going to the gym without music? Could you imagine having a wedding without music, a funeral without music? I mean, every aspect of our life, every time we celebrate, we've got a soundtrack, and there needs to be a value for that. So I like what you say in terms of the ecology, and it is up to the individual to perhaps go to the government and say, look, maybe we need to add ourselves into this narrative a little bit more. No, well said. All right, so what are your thoughts in terms of what the Australian Music Alliance will be doing in terms of, I guess, connecting with people in Australia now using the technology that's available to them?
Yeah, so the passion point is really there for everyone. So we've all, independently come out and forged our own piece of real estate over here in terms of career, to come together on the common good and the will for everyone to be successful is really where the kind of narrative is at the moment. So some of the legwork that we will be doing, apart from our own sort of flex of networks, is to continue the dialogue over here with the industry, create that kind of vision planning for what it could look like moving forward, be it in the technical space, but also, there's programs that eventually, we hope to look back into and see if we can get our artists applied there and have different avenues for not only just the musician, but the production side of things and tour management, and really kind of build up that pathway again. So our, kind of first couple of steps are going to be pretty much us getting together and putting the heads together. We've got a new consular official coming over. So she, as it's all we know is it's she, won't quite start yet, but when she does, we'll all be having a meeting with her. And we're looking at what funding and support opportunities are over here that could support our artists back home. So these are some pieces that sit in a bigger vision to really want the success for everyone. And
massive job.
Yeah. But
wow.
It's such a good group of heavy hitters, and everyone's, like these kind of overachieving alphas. And
love it.
That's what we want. We've got that kind of passionate group of committed individuals, and it's quite a staggering number of us coming together in this kind of brains trust. So being able to do that and then practically implement it, and the vision is really leave no stone unturned in a way, so that we can really create some equity back home for remote, regional, rural, urban, cross states, borders, all of that kind of territory, and just get to the music and the art and the love and the passion for it. And
I love
really
it. And it's like what you say, it's people that are passionate that actually make things happen in our industry. We would not exist without, the people that have come before us that are so passionate. They've like not stopped until they've created something. So, it's great to hear that. And you guys have got your AMA breakers where you're doing live streaming events. Tell us a little bit about that.
So that initiative's already kicked off. We'll always be looking for breaking some new artists. We've also got access to some of the resources that have been placed here from, say, individuals from Queensland, actually, with the South by Southwest Festival. There's a kiosk of opportunity to program different artists in that currently sits at the Australian Embassy, but has a potential to sort of travel around as it did with South by Southwest. So, but again, finding new ways to showcase our artists and break them. But yeah, that particular series is emergent, and as I said, there's opportunities for programming across the board that for artists who are interested to participate.
Sam, you are going to be so busy. I can see that happening a mile away. Look, Sam, it's been great to talk to you and hear about what you're doing over there. I can't imagine what it would be like being surrounded by so many more cases than we are. So please stay safe. It's been a pleasure to meet you, hear your story, and I'll check in with you again later on in the year to see how it's going. But thank you so much for talking to me today, and please take care.
Wonderful. And all our love from over here to you guys as well, and stay safe as well.
Thanks, Sam. Take care. See you, everyone.